Hey, it's Greg from McDonald Realty, and this is the February Homes Report. One month is into the books here in 2019, and it started off with more of the same. 1 month changes in benchmark pricing was down slightly across all types of properties. Down 1.2% for houses, down 1.9% for townhomes, and condos dipped a bit more, down 2.2% month over month. Of the bigger dips in pricing last month, Langley houses dipped 2.3%, while Cloverdale townhomes are still struggling, falling another 3.3% in value last month. Now, we've talked about Cloverdale townhomes over the last few months. They've been the leaders in the softening prices over the last 6 months, falling 13% in value. With Valentine's around the corner, where's the love for Cloverdale? Now, for the first time since summer 2018, the benchmark price for a detached house in Surrey is back under $1 million. In fact, every month since July, when the benchmark price for a house was at 1.055, we've seen a slow and steady decline in that price to where it is today at $998, more than a 5% drop in prices. In fact, back in July, the benchmark price for a detached house was over $1 million in 5 areas of the Fraser Valley: Langley, South Surrey, White Rock, Cloverdale, Surrey, and North Surrey. Now, only South Surrey and White Rock remain above that elusive $1 million mark. Selling a home in January is taking a bit longer than it did last year. In the Valley, it now takes on average 45 days on market to sell a condo, up from 40, 44 days to sell a townhome, up from 41, and 55 days to sell a house, up from 46. So what does that even mean to you? For a seller, it means you shouldn't get disappointed if your home doesn't sell in the first day or the first week. Buyers aren't as rushed to buy a place and sometimes need to see a home a few times before they pull the trigger and write an offer. For a buyer, that means a home isn't necessarily a dud if it's been on the market for a few weeks and is still available. It's just that the right buyer hasn't necessarily seen it yet. Now, all this being said, it should be worth noting that in the last 2 weeks of January, the market feels like it's picked up a bit. We sold 3 listings of ours in January, and while we've been arranging showings for our home buyers, we've noticed an uptick in homes that are no longer available, they have accepted offers, or might even be sold. Now, while the stats doesn't necessarily show that yet, that's the vibe on the street, and other realtors are feeling that too. On January 17th, RBC lowered their posted rate on a 5-year fixed rate, and other banks have followed suit. Is that a catalyst? Maybe. We'll see. Finally, this is a reminder for all the homeowners to complete the speculation and vacancy tax declaration form that's come in the mail. As the flyer says, you probably don't have to pay it, but you do have to register. If you don't declare by March 31st, a tax notice will be sent to you, and I bet you won't like what it has to say. I'm Greg Holmes. Thanks for watching.